it's Bob McCraney, and welcome back to This Month in Realty. Today, I'm super happy to have back Jamie Harnish. Jamie and I have been having fun just before we started filming here, so that's why I'm laughing. Jamie is with Bosley Real Estate in the Toronto, Canada area. Jamie, tell us about the market in Toronto.
Thank you, Bobs. Yeah, being from Canada, we were talking about how we burnt down your White House a long time ago. Not that I had anything to do with it.
I'm still going to edit that out. No.
The market is fine. I think we're going into our what I believe is our typical like seasonal low. What's interesting is that like February, March, and a little bit of April were like record-breaking, like all-time highs for new listings, for sales, for prices, all that kind of stuff. So we're kind of coming off of that, and so I think it would be easy to kind of get wrapped up in like, oh, the market's really slowing down and whatever, but our numbers for May and June, just as an example, are still up there in terms of like all-time highs for May and June compared to those months in any previous years. But because we're coming off of these all-time high numbers in February and March specifically was the record-breaking month, it kind of probably feels much slower than it actually is, just because everything was so insanely hectic in March. So things are fine, slower than they were in March, but still quite high for June, just as an example.
Excellent. So how are your summer predictions shaping up?
So far so good. I mentioned before that I thought it was going to be a slow summer. Again, June was a very good June for typical Junes, but again, in terms of our seasonality, I think I talked about this last time, so I don't want to repeat myself too much, but we typically have a peak in the spring, and our peak this year was like very early spring. So our summer lull is happening a little bit earlier. Normally we don't get a really big lull until August, but we started to see a bit of a lull in June. And so, it's only July 2nd that we're recording this, but I have a feeling that July will be slow again compared to what we just saw in the spring. I've had one of my sellers who we were supposed to go to market not next week but the week after decide to just hold off and list in the fall. We kind of talked about it. There were a couple of weak sales in their neighborhood, and I guess it sort of leads into I think what you're going to ask me next, but just kind of felt like September, October, probably September, is not going to be worse than it is now. Not that now is all that bad, but just, cost them 10 grand to kind of hang on to it for another few months and make maybe another 30 or 40 kind of thing.
Oh, that's worth it. So you think the fall is going to be busy?
I think it will be a typical busy fall. So again, that seasonality that we always have a big peak in the spring and then a summer lull and then like another second peak in the fall, but the height of the hump on a line graph isn't as high as the height of the hump for the springtime. But fall is usually a second busy period. So yes, I do think it will be busy. I don't know whether it will be busier than other falls in the past, but if this year is any indication, I would say yes. We had a busier spring this year than ever. We'll probably have, even though there'll be a bit of a lull, probably June and July and August will be busier than previous June, Julys, and August. So I feel like September and October will probably follow suit. So yes, is the long-winded answer to your question.
Actually, it made more sense. Thank you for telling me exactly why. So how would somebody contact you, Jamie?
Sorry?
How would somebody contact you all the way up there in Canada?
Yeah, so I was going to make a joke about ice or something, but it's July, so it just is not gonna work.
Yeah, are you having the super hot temperatures this year?
We did not today, but the past like 3-4 days. It got very, very, very hot, and we're not anywhere close to British Columbia, but there was an area in BC that got, with the humidex, almost up to 50 Celsius. I don't know what that is.
It was we had a report here that British Columbia reached 121, right. And the highest recorded temperature in the state of Texas ever was 120.
There you go.
Yeah, we've had this weird temperature inversion. Climate change is real, people. So we gotta watch that. So we don't want to go in Canada too much.
Yeah, today's a lovely day, but we have had a couple of very hot days in a row where it was like mid
and we're having a very temperate season for Texas.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We're 80s and 90s.
Huh.
We should be scorching ourselves right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm sure who's ever upstairs will hear me and change it for me, but it's been very mild for us. Yeah.
Turn the dial up.
But we're built for it. You're not. So
Very
that's
true.
where, just like, you know, we got your winter and you're built
Right.
for it and we're not. So,
Right.
okay.
Right.
So the question was, how would somebody contact you?
Yeah, I'm sure people love that last 2-minute weather forecast between Dallas and Toronto.
But you know what? That's what adds flavor to these podcasts.
Very true. Very true. We get a hold of me, my cell phone, 416-428-8892. That's 416-428-8892. Whatever platform somebody's watching this on, you can just send me a DM through that. And my email, jharnish@bosleyrealestate.com. Honestly, just Google me, Jamie Harnish, Toronto, and it all comes up. It's all right there.
Okay.
So,
and I'm going to drop all your links below. So
great. Thank you.
See you next month.
Please.
Tune in next month to hear this month in realty to hear more from Jamie and other real estate experts across Canada and the United States. Take care.
Thank you, Bob.